Even though all eyes were on 4th overall pick Scottie Barnes for the Toronto Raptors, and as they should be, the Raptors actually selected 2 other players in this draft as well in the 2nd round. So in this video, we're going to give you a full prospect breakdown of Dalano Banton and David Johnson, showcase to you why the Toronto Raptors drafted them. Let's get into it. Welcome NBA and Raptors fans to Amateur Hour Sports. This is the channel where you get NBA content with a focus on the Toronto Raptors at least 4 days a week. That is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. This is your Saturday episode where we're breaking down both of the Toronto Raptors 2nd round picks, Dalano Banton and David Johnson. So if you like what you see from today's video and you want more of myself talking about the NBA and the Raptors and videos and content just like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below to show support to the channel. We are well on a road to 5,000 subscribers. We're getting very close. You can help us get there quicker by subscribing for more Raptors content. Thank you so much for the support on the video yesterday breaking down the Scottie Barnes pick, but today we transition into the 2nd round picks, and the Raptors maybe went a little bit off what we were expecting them to do with these picks. They go with Dalano Banton at 46 overall. He is the first ever Canadian to be drafted by the Toronto Raptors, and they also went with David Johnson 47th overall. So the Raptors go with 2 point guards in the 2nd round. Now, I didn't have a ton of content breaking down who I thought the Raptors would take in these positions because 2nd rounders are just so difficult to predict. But I really thought that they were going to go with a point guard in one of the positions and they were going to go with a center in one of the other positions. So I thought that when we took Dalano Banton 46 overall, that we were going to look to take Charles Bassey with the 47th overall pick, a nice big to add to the team. But the Raptors went on a different route. They went with 2 taller point guards here, Dalano Banton, who is 6'9", and David Johnson, who is 6'5". And I think that what they want to do here is that they're looking to add in some depth to the team. That's what you're usually looking for with a 2nd round pick. If you can get any of your 2nd round picks to be true role players to your team, that is a success for the round. Obviously, there's some bigger success stories like Nikola Jokic, like Chris Middleton, just to name a couple. But, typically out of the 2nd round, you want a guy who's going to be able to contribute to your team in some sort of role, and that would be considered a win. So what the Raptors, I think, were looking for here is some lengthy players to play in the guard positions, which is why maybe they ignored Sharife Cooper, who went 48th overall just after the Raptors pick. I know a lot of you guys wanted Sharife Cooper, but at 6'1", an inefficient shooter, we didn't really need a player like that. So the Raptors, I think, want at least one pretty decently sized guard to be able to contribute to the team in the next few years with these 2nd round picks. So with the 46th and 47th overall pick, they double their odds by taking 2 of them. And in this video, we're going to give you the strengths of the prospects and the weaknesses of the prospects and showcase to you why the Raptors took them. Starting with Dalano Banton, the 46th overall pick. So Dalano Banton comes out of Nebraska, where he put up, a decent season. The eye-catching thing about Dalano Banton is the fact that he is 6'9", but we will get into that. So what he displayed here is almost 10 points per game for Nebraska after a transfer year. Bet on himself, and it worked out, getting himself drafted in the 2nd round. 3.9 assists per game, 5.9 rebounds per game, and field goal percentages, they're not the most eye-catching things. 41% shooting from the field and 25% shooting from 3, going along with about 66% shooting from the free throw line. Those aren't incredible stats, I will admit there. But let's go to the strengths and indicate why the Raptors actually drafted this guy, because they were looking for a specific type of player here in the 2nd round, just a lengthy ball-handling guard, and they may have gotten it with Dalano Banton because, again, he is 6'9", but going along with the fact that he's 6'9", he also has that really good first quick step. He can get off the mark quickly. He's got the stop and go ability that can really fool opposition defenders. Going along with the handling, that makes him somewhat dangerous in the transition game. He can also rebound quite well because of his size, and he's a good anticipator off the glass based on the tape that I saw, not just the fact that he is tall, knows how to get in those positions, knows how to box out as well. The court vision is also great. Standing at 6'9", he can typically see over defenses, especially the people that would be typically guarding him. So that gives him a very good benefit when he's trying to get those cross-court passes. He sees the whole court, he sees all of his teammates, and going along with a good passing ability, that helps him in the playmaking category. Also, like I said, all of these things combined really help him in the transition game because he pushes the ball well. He's huge, 6'9". He handles well. He can see the passes, and he has a talent to make those passes. All of these things combined lead to a very unique skill set, which leaves a little bit of upside here. Now, we do have to get into the weaknesses as well because there obviously are are going to be some weaknesses about his game. But what he doesn't do particularly well is shoot the ball well. And you saw that with the field goal percentages, the free throw percentages, they aren't great, which leads him to be a little bit of an inconsistent scorer. Even for his height, based on the tape, I thought he could have been a little more polished in finishing at the rim. You know, a 6'9" guy, you would expect to be able to clean up at the rim. Didn't always get that feeling for Dalano Banton, but there's obviously some potential the Raptors are seeing here. He is very raw, however. There's a lot to work on with this player, and with his age, he's going on 22. He's going to be 22 in November. Maybe not as much time to bet on this guy's upside, but the Raptors have clearly seen something good from the Canadian, a Rexdale native, shout out Rexdale, coming into the Raptors, first one in history to come out of Canada to get drafted by the Toronto Raptors. So regardless of whatever happens in his career, this is a history-making pick. But what they saw in Dalano Banton is unique skill, and they think that maybe they can get something out of him. I look forward to seeing this player playing with a 905 to see if he can unlock something different. Again, you know how the Raptors like working with the development team to get these players. There are really no wasted picks for the Raptors because they can get something out of these second rounders. You know, Dalano Banton went 46 overall. Norman Powell went 46 overall and turned into a pretty influential player in the Toronto Raptors winning a championship. So, you know, they know what they're doing with the scouting department. Maybe they see something they can get out of this player here. You know, he's got an unpolished game, but with those measurements, with that athleticism, maybe you can find something in this player. Time will tell. We'll have to see over the next few years. But let's move on to the second player the Raptors selected here at 47th overall, David Johnson. He's another taller point guard standing at about 6'5" and showcased some decent stats here for Louisville. And I was a little bit surprised Raptors went with both point guards, but again, I think they want to have double the chance of creating a point guard that could be a role player for them in the future. So what David Johnson can offer to the Toronto Raptors is what he showcased at Louisville: 12.6 points per game, 3.2 assists per game, and 5.6 rebounds per game. He also had a 41% field goal percentage with Louisville. The 3-point percentage is kind of what sticks out here. 38.6% shooting from three. Free throw percentage isn't great though, 70% shooting from the free throw line. So again, not the most tremendous stats, but there are some decent things here about this player that the Raptors are looking for. Remember, these are second rounders. You're not looking for stars here for your team. You're looking for guys who can fill out and complete a roster. And David Johnson has a skill set that might allow him to help us out in the future because he's got a good mixture of size and height. He's about 6'5", but he's got a very nice frame, which leads him to be a very strong player. And going along with his basketball instincts, that is where he really thrives. He's a smart player and he uses his frame to his advantage. He knows his strengths. This makes him a pretty good interior scorer because he can go through that contact because of his size and finish at the rim. He's also got that solid 3-point percentage. Some people would say it's a little bit unpolished. Some scouts are saying it's a little bit unpolished, but you know, you can't deny shooting over 4 3-pointers a game. 38% from three. That is quite good. He's also got good defensive versatility because of that height, because of that size. And again, this is another player with a unique skill set, which provides a little bit of upside that maybe the Raptors do want to explore in the future. But nothing really tremendous about his game. I think this is just an all-around solid player. And I think that this is one that you can more bank on to be a solid role player in the future for an NBA team. Dalano Banton maybe has a little more upside. I think that this is a little bit less of that risk associated with developing the prospect. But we also got to get into his weaknesses because obviously he went in the second round. So let's talk about what he's missing. So I'd say, you know, his lateral quickness isn't the best because of his size. Does need to improve that because, you know, maybe his versatility is all right. But when he has to guard NBA level point guards who really are explosive, are super fast, super athletic, he will struggle a little bit. That needs to be better. Maybe he can shed off a little bit of that muscle, make himself a little bit more leaner. That will help himself, but Raptors development team can easily work around that. Unpolished game, like I said earlier, you know, he really has the smarts, but he's just got to polish it a little bit, get it a little bit tighter to get to the NBA level, and he's got to get that free throw percentage up. We can't be having that 70% shooting from the free throw line. Also, turnovers. He turned the ball over the same amount per game as he assisted in his final season with Louisville, so that needs to improve a little bit as well. But, you know, maybe not playing with the most talented team, maybe that's a little bit of an argument for him, but still, that does need to be cleaned up. So what we get here is a very wide frame point guard. He's unique in terms of his height and his build in the point guard position. A little bit of a bulldog type player. Very good at getting to the rim, but he's got to add in that mid-range game, which is slowly coming for him, and the three-point game. If he can keep that three-point game consistent in the NBA, this has the makings, I think, for a good role player for the Toronto Raptors. But again, we were a little bit confused with when we saw the draft here. We were thinking the Raptors might take a chance on Sharif Cooper, who had chances chances to go late in the first round, but fell all the way to 48th. We could have gone for a big like Bassi. We could have gone for a big like Garza, but the Raptors decided not to do that here. They went for 2 point guards. So my thinking is they're looking at 2 guards here, 2 bigger guards who can really add to the defensive versatility of this team, especially Dalano Banton standing at 6'9". If they can get anything out of either of these players and turn them into contributors for the Raptors in the next few years, then that's going to be a win. They can get at least one of them to do that because they're adding in some nice size and defensive versatility. Noticing a trend with the way the Raptors draft, if you're big, you got a good wingspan, and you got switchability on defense, then Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster are likely going to be calling your phone because that is what they went for in the first round with Barnes. That's what they went for here in the second round. But these guys aren't quite NBA ready. You're really rarely going to get that with a second round pick. But I'm looking forward to seeing these guys with the 905 and seeing how they progress. I'm really looking forward to see how Delano Banton can really hone his talent, hone that upside with, that incredible length, that incredible first step for 6'9". That one intrigues me. I feel like there's a little bit less when it comes to David Johnson, a little bit less upside, but he's more polished and more able to contribute immediately to a team like 905. I'm excited to see where these guys turn out, but time will tell, and if the Raptors scouting has paid off here. So what do you guys think of these 2 prospects, Banton and Johnson? Do you like these prospects? Do you think the Raptors should have drafted somebody else in the 46 or 47 position? I want to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, because that is it from me for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you are still here, be sure to give the video a thumbs up with that like button. Like the video for draft week. Really goes a long way to helping us reach some new viewers for the channel. Helped with that YouTube algorithm, which will help us on the road to 5K. Also shows me that you made it to the end of the video. Also, you can check out our Twitch, twitch.tv/amateursports. We do a ton of NBA content, but also some video game content on the side, and you can check it out with the link in the description. Notification bell on to see when we are streaming. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, on the road to 5,000 subscribers. It means so much if we got there. Plus, when we get there, I will shave my head to celebrate again live on stream. Other videos by the channel you may enjoy. And always remember, at the end of the day, believe what I say, and if you disagree, that is okay. Enjoy the grind, and I'll see you again next time for another video.